Yeah, it just put yourself on mute after joining, no? Just put yourself on mute after joining. Is on?
You want to be using this?
First, I just want this to start. आपको तो आपने ही करके किया था नहीं एग्जैक्टली लगाया था नहीं डायरेक्ट तो लगा हमने टीवी निकाला और एक केबल लगाया प्लीज अभी टाइम नहीं है तो हमने निकाला हमने इसमें ऑलरेडी किया
नहीं आज आपके पास ही आई अभी बस में ही थी वो शायद आ रही है अच्छा अभी उसने मुझे कॉल किया मैंने उसको मना किया सोना बस तुम दोपहर में पढ़ लेना मैंने ना उसको वही पूछा उसने मुझे सुबह वही बोल रही थी एग्जैक्टली मैं वो समझ गई थी मुझे बोलती है कि मैंने इसको वही पूछा अच्छा किया
Is a live streaming will started.
We can hear live streaming. We can hear.
You have a mic. Your.
देखिए सो मंजू से बात सो जिससे मेरी Hey, so good afternoon, team. Hi. So all those on the call, can you put yourself on mute? Everyone on the call, can you put yourself on mute? Make them go on mute, na? Yeah. Yeah, guys on the call, can you put yourself on mute? Yeah, a team on the call, just try to keep yourself on mute. And so we'll start. I know we are 15 minutes off time, but thanks so much all of you to be here, and really happy to be at last launching something that we've been wanting to do for some time. Okay, so just to lay the context of why this is something which we thought is important. You are able to hear me? Huh? You can? Because I don't know if this is on actually. Okay. Yeah, so just to give a context, okay, so why women's network? And why not a men's network, or why not some other network, right? So there is a lot of research, okay, which talks about how women go through the different stages of life very differently from many others. Okay, so one, of course, there is, for the woman, one big stage of life is marriage. A lot of things change for her. Then there is kids. Things change for her so much that she never goes back into the previous shape also, right? So, okay, so there is a lot of difference in the life cycle also, right? What men go through, what women go through. Similarly, there is a lot of research which talks about how things are little different for women, okay? So, when I say different is, the view that women have of work, or of how they see themselves in the work environment is very different from how men see, because we all come with a very different social conditioning, right? So when right from the childhood, right? So for a lot of us, our woman role model, possibly who is our mother, is a housewife. Okay, so that's a very different role model, right? But now for women are coming into work, so I mean, what do you say, with so much of social obstacles, if we make say that. Okay, so there's so many things going around for every woman. Okay, so there's a lot of research which says that when women come together, they are able to share these experiences which they have with each other, and this helps them become more stronger, more confident. Okay, so that's why we thought it's a good idea for all of us to come together, because all of us have a very similar journey, right? So our journeys, though we may come from, for a lot of us who are in different parts of the country, some of us are from a city, some of us are from a smaller town, but everyone has very similar journey in the sense of our, what we have heard since our childhood about a woman working, or what we have experienced. Okay, so I'll give you an example, one thing which I was reading about very recently. Okay, so it said that whenever there is a meeting, okay, so women do two things differently from men. Okay, so I hope everyone on the call also is able to listen to me. Please do keep yourself on mute so others can also hear. Yeah, we'll open the phone lines towards the end for questions. Yeah. So yeah, I was saying that, I had read this article which said two things which women do very differently at work. There are many things women do very differently at work, but one of the thing was, whenever a woman is a part of a forum, okay, and when there's a Q&A session, the woman will always think of the question in her mind. She will rehearse the question before she asks. And she'll never ask, and by the time she'll ask, someone else would have asked also. Okay, so usually she loses when there is a table like this, okay, and when you come for a meeting, and if there are two rows, the women always take the back row. Okay, so I'm just saying that, there is subtle differences in the way we have been brought up, or the way we think about ourselves, which makes us slightly different. And therefore, when we were thinking of a women's group, we said we must do this because we must get together and talk about these things to see how we can help each other become more confident. Okay, so that was the whole idea of this women's network. And we are not the only company. There are many companies who have women's networks and which have done really well for the women in their organization. Okay, so so that is the whole context. We are more than 500 of us in CMS, and we are increasing in number because we are also looking at very focused efforts, especially when it comes to our field feet on street that we have, right, our field crew. We are really looking at increasing efforts to get women into those positions as well, okay. And of course even in leadership positions we are looking at women, right. So as a company we are quite we have an intention to make sure that, you know, it's a inclusive organization, it's an organization for everyone, yeah, and where there is equal opportunity. And that's why this year for International Women's Day I was really very happy. Do you know what the theme was for International Women's Day? You would have got the card at least, right? Yeah, so there was from the Copcom team there was a card which had come to all of us, a e-card. Yeah, so this year the International Women's Day theme was each for equal. Yeah, so and I saw some companies like HUL had you know, come up and said that now they have 50% women leaders in their organization. So they have also, so a lot of people, so if 50% of the population is women, then we need women in everything in 50%, right? So that's where, so I was very happy about the theme of Women's Day this time, okay. So just to take this forward, so I really like this quote which Satya has got. When women support each other, incredible things happen. So we are also here to do a lot of incredible things. It will evolve as a group. So the first, we will of course understand what we want to do and we will keep evolving. But and this time that we are together today, we will take this time to talk about what we want to do. I know in terms of technology, we are you know, still trying to figure out the best way to connect with everyone. Today we thought we'll do a YouTube streaming. I hope everyone can hear us from here. But we will come with better technology where we can talk to each other a little more seamlessly, okay. But we thought technology should not be the reason why we don't start, okay. So we just said we'll start it jaisa bhi hai, and Women's Day was on 8th and this is Women's Day week. We didn't want to give up this opportunity to link it together, okay, with the Women's Day. So we just thought we'll start it, we'll see how we can make it better every time, yeah. So there was a contest, if you know, yeah, I know a lot of people responded, a lot of people on the calls also. We got so many responses, and really these responses were what encouraged us to make sure that we should do this on time, okay. So thanks so much, and you know, we will have our leaders come in, but before we do that, I thought it's a good idea for us to at least see the logo for the first time, and we wanted women to be the first people to see our Women's Network name and logo. We'll of course also talk about who are the contest winners. So this is our Women's Network name. I hope all of you can see it on the call. Whoever, please be on the YouTube live streaming because that's where you can see it. So this was a name that got chosen, okay. So Prerna, okay. So this also is very much in line with what our vision is, and we'll talk about that. And also see, there is also significance in the logo, right? There is a woman who is spreading out light, isn't it? So that is to say that each one of us has that light, okay, and each one of us has that capability to do this, okay, to support each other, to help each other, to inspire each other, and this whole team has to be doing that for each other, okay. So that's why Prerna, and 3 things that we will do. We'll connect more often, okay, as a women's network, irrespective of our department, irrespective of our anything, yeah, irrespective of our life cycle where we are in also, yeah. So we all connect together, we all learn. So we'll also talk about what we will do in this forum. but one of the major agendas is to learn. Okay, so we will create what is it, platforms where we can come and develop our skills. Okay, so and the last one is inspire. Okay, so that's, I think it's a very very important one, because you know, earlier, and I don't know, this used to be something which there used to be a lot of articles around this saying that, you know, women don't help other women enough. Like how men help other men, women don't help other women. Okay, so there was something like this which I was reading. I have not seen any research which says that. Okay, so we have to be that team which makes sure that it's not that way. Yeah, so women help women, they inspire each other, they stand for each other, they connect with each other. Okay, so that's this forum. Okay, so that's the whole idea of this logo, the name Prerna. So we are all now Prerna members. Everyone, every woman joining CMS is a Prerna member. Okay, so it's just a de facto thing. Yeah, so we are all this network now, and we are all this group which is going to be closer to each other. Okay. Yeah, I hope everyone on the call also is able to listen in. Especially do log in to the YouTube live streaming, because that's the best way to connect right now, but we will of course figure better ways. Okay, so we have some exciting prizes for the contest winners. Okay, so there were lots of good entries. Okay, but I am going to now unveil the 2 contest winners. Okay, so we have Rohini. Okay, so where her suggestion on Prerna. Okay, and we have Julie Patil. Julie, it was a very close call. So her the name that Julie had suggested was Leaders. Okay, which is also a very very strong and a very powerful name, Leaders. And see, we will be doing a lot of things through Prerna, right? So one of the programs which we thought would be around, you know, developing ourselves, we will name it Leaders. Okay, so we will surely do something like that. Okay, so now okay, I'll just go to the vision and mission, and I think this requires some conversation. Okay, so I hope all of you on YouTube also are able to see the slide deck you know, clearly. So what is a vision? Okay, so the vision overall is to be the best place to work for women. Okay, so that's our vision, overall vision. In the end, that's where we want to be. Okay, it will not happen. Vision is always a long term goal, right? So it's not going to happen in another 10 days or 15 days or maybe a year also, but at least we go with that vision. Okay, yeah, so guys, just see if you can put yourself on mute, please. Okay, and what is a mission? Okay, so our mission is something which we want to do now, right, and what we want to keep in mind as we go forward, right? So the mission of this group, which is Prerna, okay, is to help CMS women become more empowered, confident individuals, and to create a meaningful network which comes together to learn from each other and to inspire each other. Okay, very very simple thing, right? It's a simple mission. Okay, so we, in the end, after 1 year, we should be seeing, do we feel more confident because we are part of a network like this? Do we feel more empowered? Because now I have some more friends, okay, who are part of a very closer network, and am I getting opportunities to learn? Yeah, so we will create those opportunities through this forum and also to inspire, okay, because each of us has such amazing stories to tell, okay, which a lot of us will not know also. We come to office, we see, but each of us has some stories which are of courage, of the kind of struggle that one has gone through, or the kind of just transformation, right? So each of us has that, and this is a forum for us to connect on all of these. Okay, so that's the mission of Prerna. Okay, so okay, I'll go to the next slide, and then probably we hear from everyone one by one if we can. Okay, so what are the goals? So now before going ahead, I'll just say a few things. Okay, so how this came into being. Okay, so so as an organization, okay, so we are we are proud to be a equal opportunity employer, okay, as a company. Now what does that mean? It means that CMS will not differentiate anyone basis their gender, sex, sexual orientation, or race or religion, anything, right? So we are an equal opportunity employer. And when we were working on this, we said that as an equal opportunity employer, we also need to work on creating an environment which helps this diversity to blossom. Okay, so creating many various things. So as we speak, we are also recruiting in some of our locations persons who are differently abled. Okay, so we are trying to make opportunities for everyone, and one of the things we said was that there is a lot of research also which says that companies where this diversity is strong gives you much better return on your investment. They get much better revenues, they have much higher engagement, everything is much better. Rather okay, I will also share it with us, because now we have forums where we can share a lot of data with each other. Okay, but so there is a lot of research to say that there is a business sense in making sure that the company has a strong and equal team which is empowered, okay, for both men and women. Okay, so there is a lot of research around that, and that's really when we said that okay, a few of us got together and we said okay, now what should we do, how should this be, and whatever you see now is something which is discussed maybe within a group of 8-9 people. Okay, but we had to start somewhere, and that's why it is what it is right now. But as we grow, there will be a lot of feedback, or rather as we move into the next few weeks, there will be a lot of feedback taken from you to see what is it that we need to do and what we can change about the way we are running Prerna. Okay, so what are our goals? So the first goal is to build awareness and business case for inclusion. Okay, so it is already there, but what it means is that just building more awareness and sensitivity about how to be more inclusive. Okay, so we have I'll just give you an example. Okay, so previously in my previous organization there used to be a leader, and he would, whenever he would hire a woman, he used to see whether she's going to get married or whether she's going to have a child. Okay, so that is just awareness which needs to be built, right? That that should not be the criteria. Okay, and it's sad that some people don't understand that this is really not. I mean, women, especially, and there is research which says that women who come after their maternity breaks are higher in terms of their commitment, mainly because they have taken a 6-month break. Okay, so anyway, so there is a lot of research which says there are a lot of positives that come out of all these things, but just saying that there is still a need to build a case for inclusion, right, to sensitize people on why it's important to have every kind of person in the team, right. Second is to have a community where women feel valued and supported, right? Like I said, okay, being there for each other. It's a very, very important uh, goal of this network. Okay, so as we evolve, we'll also talk about how we thought we could do this best. And of course, we have a forum, we have WhatsApp groups, and the email chains where we can always discuss and talk about these things. Yeah. Third goal is to build skills. Okay, so we will work on building skills that help us be more confident, be more knowledgeable, okay, and opportunities for us to what do you say, explore some things which we have not explored before. Okay, so that is one, and another one is to encourage the practices for career advancement for women. Yeah, so which means, and here when we say this, it doesn't mean through the management, it means through our own changes which we make in ourselves. Okay, so again, I mean, another research. Okay, so and I have all of these data on research because my last organization I used to lead diversity and inclusion. Okay, so this is a very, very close to my heart topic. Okay, so yeah, so there is also a lot of research which says that women are terrible negotiators when it comes to when they for hiring, the kind of negotiations a male does and a female does, there's a huge difference. Okay, while recruitment, so they have done some research to say that women don't. Second, usually the women know, even if they've done a great job, they will talk about what they could have done better. Okay, and a male, I mean, I'm just making these comparisons. Okay, it's not a generalization, but it is just some research which says that, and a male typically would talk about what they did well. Okay, so that those are few differences which are very inherent. Okay, which is inherently there, but we have to be conscious. That's the whole idea. We have to be just conscious that, are we doing this, right? So it's few things on career advancement, just few things which will help us become better in, in the way we approach our own careers, right? Okay, so these are the goals which we have.
He's coming in another 3:15.
3:15 now. Okay, so these are the goals which we went ahead with. So we will share this PPT slides among all of us. Okay, so all of us can take time, go through it, and if you feel there are things that we need to include, now we have a WhatsApp group. Satya will of course talk about the WhatsApp group and how we should be taking this forward. But it should be a two-way communication. Okay, I know that we have technological challenges in two-way communications, but we will figure out how to make sure that we are able to surpass these small obstacles, right? What is a bigger obstacle is in our mind, and we are all, I mean, looking at the response, looking at the fact that so many of us are on the call. It's so encouraging. Yes, it's so encouraging that it's something which we all want to do, and I think that's the best first step. Okay, and after this is when this will just take off. So we have 5 minutes before Manju also comes in and we take this to the next step. So I'll just open the calls. I don't know if it's a good idea, but what do you say? Should we? Huh? Okay, so any thoughts from anyone, just if you can on the calls? Okay. So we take that in towards the end. Okay. So Satya, do you want to just start talking about the? So any thoughts from the people in the room? How does this Do you think it makes sense? What is your thought? Sorry. Someone was saying something on the call. On the call was someone saying something?
If I said, do you want to just start talking about any thoughts from the
On what? Sorry, can you say that again?
how does this fit? Is it like what is your thoughts?
Okay.
Like the YouTube live stream, right? So I think that is using the same mic. You said using
If on the live stream, will we be able to see any questions? No. Next time,
You can ask them to post comments.
you can?
They can comment it
Comment.
there.
Okay.
Do the questions from
Okay. So anyone who has any question can write a comment on the live stream, and then we can take up the question. So that's a good way to communicate in a two-way manner, so it's not just a one-sided conversation. But if you have any questions, just put it on the comments, and if you want your name and all also, then just put it, and then we can just take the question. Yeah.
A lot of people have introduced themselves on the chat.
Yeah, so that's a good thing.
around 75 people are there.
Okay. Oh, great. 75 people and basically locations, because a lot of them would have bunched up.
So are everyone able to hear us? Please just check.
Yeah, maybe you can write.
The audio clarity
Is good.
We just played it outside.
Acha, okay. Oh, great. Yeah, so actually YouTube streaming is a very good idea, because going forward, when we have any of the sessions, which is your skill building sessions, or if we get some leaders to come and talk to us, we can always record it and have it in one channel, which will be accessible to all of us. So even if we are not able to listen to it the same time, we will be able to listen to it at least later. So that's a good medium. Yeah. So you want to just take it till Manju comes?
She's probably wanting to use the core committee.
Yeah. Okay, so when we say core committee, everything was just a matter of chance. Okay. Hi.
It's okay. Sit down.
Hey, come here.
This is like entering the ladies' coach.
Hey, so great. So we have Manjunath Rao, who is the Manjunath Rao, who is leading, who is the lead for the MS business. And Manju, thank you so much for being here. And
Did
I
you
was.
get any gifts?
Huh?
Did you get any gifts?
Yes, of course. You just have to name it.
Oh,
So I don't know if it's working, but I've been just talking loudly.
okay. I can talk loudly too. Well, first of all, I must thank you for initiating something like this, which is very important, right? And after I saw your mail, I went and checked a few websites. I went and checked a few more sites to see. I think it's a very important initiative some of the companies have started. It's the women's group only, right? And it's very important because most of the time you may have female managers or you may have male managers. And if it is male manager, it's only to a certain extent that you can share what you're going through. And this is a very good initiative. And this is not a grievances center, right?
No.
It is more for your networking, right? Grievances center, I think we have other options too.
Yes.
Right, I think so. So what does Prerna mean? Can anyone tell? Other than the people who mentioned it?
It's inspiration.
It's inspiration in Hindi. It's beautiful women in other languages. Right? Prerna actually means more than inspiration. Yeah, women are inspiration to us. And more so from the fact that I'm married. I've got 2 daughters. And I have a mother who is 93 years old. I have a wife who's younger than me. And obviously I'm younger to her too. Right? And I think we are surrounded, and we genuinely believe, especially we are in India, we believe in Shakti, female Shakti, right? And it's a very, very important part. And obviously without you girls and women out here, I don't think the men will be able to do any other work, right? And it's very true. It's very true. If your spouses don't support you, you can't be here. Same way, if you don't support your spouses, they can't excel in their work. I think that's a very given thing, and so many cliches are there. Women stand behind men, right? And that's not true. It's actually men actually stand behind women for every other reasons. And but it's very, very nice of you to set it up. And how big is the women team out here? Not only here, across.
500?
450.
Is that all?
450, yeah.
I thought we are 30% are women.
We will get there. We will get there.
I think you should get there.
Yeah.
So I think in a male-dominated company, I think you guys need to raise your voices, because it's very rarely heard very well, right? And stop nodding your head. I know. She's part of my team. That's why I said maybe we don't hear you enough. And it's only 500 people, all India.
Yeah, all India. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. So what's the objectivity? I saw the big mail on objective. So
Yeah.
what do you think the girl is they all received those mails?
No. So we this was a time when we unveiled the mission and everything.
Ah.
So it's the first time. So we've just spoken about what is the vision and the mission,
Okay.
and
Okay. To help CMS women become more empowered and confident individuals, to create a meaningful network of women that comes together to learn from and inspire each other. Yeah. How much you guys really talk to each other?
The person you are
Except
speaking
during
with
lunchtime.
has put your call on hold. Please stay on the line.
That's okay. That's what happens when on my conference calls.
Yeah, they keep doing that all the time.
They don't
They will say
realize.
there's some
This is from South.
I
To tell you the truth, I was quite excited when I saw your mail, Manisha, because immediately I sent it out to all my RMs. I said, please disseminate to the women and please make them aware. Because unfortunately or fortunately, men are slow to understand the needs of the women and forget the needs, right? And when I did my first rewards and recognition program in Pallavaram in Chennai, I called the women and said, hey, form a committee, because we can't get into your bathrooms, we can't get into your toilets, we can't get into them, so why don't you guys take charge of it? And please make a lot of things comfortable for women. And there's only some things that what we see out in the front we can take care of, but back there, which is most important, right? I believe that if the toilets are clean, then rest of it is clean. So there are certain things that only women can do, women can lead, and especially when we go wrong, you should be having the the strength to point us out that we are going wrong. And if you are working in a team, please raise your voices. Please raise your voices, because most of the time I find them all quiet. And I always blame the CMS culture for it. Right? You shouldn't, because if you understand Rajiv Kaul or a few of us there, you will understand that we are open to receive, maybe may not act on all of them, but we are open to receive feedback, and especially if it's concerning women, we are open to listen to feedback. And there are instances where I think you should not take anything lying down, which is very, very important for you, right? And for us, because if you keep quiet, you are only allowing the problems to grow. Please do not. Amongst your group, now it's more easier for you, right? You don't have to come to any of us to tell what you feel. Please tell in this group what you feel like, but please say some good things too, right? Please say some good things too, because we believe that whatever we are doing is the right thing. May not be to your reception, but I think if there is something that we could do to improve, please let us know. And especially any organization, and I believe that if you respect the women, then that starts the respect of the company. Because as we behave in front of women is how we behave in front of customers, right? You won't believe it, I sincerely believe it, because how we know how to treat people. I can treat men any way I like to, right? I can speak to them differently, but to you, I need to be very polite, and the right way I need to speak to you. If I start learning that, then to my customers also I'll be like that, right? So that's very, very important, and I think all of us, you should make our men sensitized to this environment. I'm sorry that most of the men around you may not be sensitive, right, to your needs. I mean, that happens, and it happens at home too, right? And my wife always complains, so I can tell you. So I've been trying to tell her that I'm the most nicest guy available, but she disagrees. Maybe I'm different at home, I don't know. But to tell you the truth, this is amazing stuff. I think this needs to grow, and I think the women's strength in our company needs to grow. Because I always believed, I don't know if it is the right or wrong to stay here, but I always thought the women work harder than men, right? And it is safer to leave it with women than men. Because the kind of work, dedication, and sincerity and loyalty begins with women. Because once you believe that this is a good company, this is good people of people, and you are loyal, then you are the safest people. Because men can change the coin like that. And so it's very difficult to retain. That's why when, I don't know if Charuta is on the call, if Charuta is there, when Charuta said she's resigning, I said no. I told Sheetal, please rush to Mape. She's not quitting. She said, no, I have my son is in 10th standard. I want to give attention to him. My mother-in-law expired 2 years ago, so those kids need to be taken care of. I said, work from home. I don't care. You tell me what time. You define the time to Sheetal, please work that time. Because what happens is, that kind of loyalty that the women create, it's very difficult to get from men. Don't tell them outside, okay? But that's the truth. That's the truth. It is the truth, because we have seen, I worked in organizations like NCR, Diebold, and now CMS for the last 7 years. I can tell you the kind of, I think the biggest thing is you embrace the company like you do your family. I think that's the key.
You are speaking with has put your call on hold.
That's okay. I'll hold myself too. Yeah.
You can hear us anyway through the YouTube stream.
This is from Karnataka. ಇದು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. So is this only SMP here?
Yeah, here it is only SMP.
Okay, so we have Pooja here. You are in finance. You are in HR. Very sad to see your mail, but that's good news to go to Germany, but the wrong time. Right?
I know that's true.
Your visa is cancelled or is still valid?
I have no idea, it's in process.
Okay, so you have a problem. He's going to come from Germany or has he already come?
No, he's not planning to fly now.
Sorry?
He's not planning to fly now, we're planning to postpone our wedding.
Okay. Otherwise, imagine what happens. From 1 meter far, you have to throw the garland and stay 1 meter away. So she's HR, you are in my team, and you are in HR again. She's very important to us. And you are? HR. HR, yeah. IT. Okay, you are in this room sitting locked up? Yeah. Okay. You are in IT too. Yeah, see, I know. Cards, yeah. Finance. Oh, okay. Finance. Oh. That's a very rare event in finance to have so many ladies. You know that? Are you all Marwadis? Admin. Okay, yeah, I know you.
I joined recently under CS team,
CST?
Company Secretary, under Mr. Praveen Soni.
Praveen Soni.
Yeah.
Okay, legal.
Yeah.
Okay. I know you, I know her. IT. Okay. Admin. Oh, okay. I know her. I know you too. True, I don't know who you are. She is the priestess. Prudentia, can you show your face to the office? She's a priestess, right?
Yeah.
Nothing can get past her, right? Very difficult. Actually, you are in a more powerful than anybody, right? Yeah. The priests actually control the god. Good. Is there any feedback to me? I'm so happy to see you all laughing and smiling. I hope you continue this more and more. And that, you know what? You need to be inspiration to all of us. That's the meaning of this network. And please take your heart out to ensure this organization grows and get more ladies into the system. I think that's more to you and to the rest of them too. I think you need to get more women into the system. And I thought, in fact, I was telling someone it's 30%. It's not even 2%.
That's
So now 3%.
3%.
You're 3% now? Okay. Because that 23,000 keeps moving, right?
So 16 is what?
16 is what we
So
have.
we've reduced the denominator.
I know, that's how women do analytics. Good. Is there any feedback to me? Is there anything that I need to take back to the management? On your first, is there anything that you guys require? Do you need any meeting rooms?
Everyone will say
Yes.
No, meeting rooms not for work, for you guys to gather. Yeah, otherwise where do you meet? What's the plan?
So, so for us, for now, we are really backing up on the IT team and in this room. Okay, for
Is Blue Jeans working well?
yeah, so we didn't try Blue Jeans because the bandwidth can be an issue. But YouTube, typically everyone is able to stream.
Like streaming on mobile.
Oh, you're right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
So that
Am I on YouTube?
Yes.
Can I pass a message? Oh, you're live on YouTube.
Yes. So now it's
You can
that's how
text your
we can-
wife now.
Huh?
You can text your wife.
Yeah, no.
See?
It's a sleep time. I've been strictly told from 1 to 4, no calls. So I don't know. So I need to go and
Then
see.
again you'll be a bad guy.
Yeah, I know. 1 to 4 is sleeping time. Is there any feedback, girls? Women?
anything.
Okay. Is there anything that you want to tell us? Anything. See, just what did I start with? Be brave. Right? You should be able to tell us something.
And no need to rehearse the question. We had, so I was just telling them there's some research which says that women usually rehearse the question and men just blurt it out as they think.
No, so
Okay,
not
so
only
we
one
should not,
question.
do that.
Unfortunately or fortunately, you process 10 questions at a time, right? At the same time, you process 10 questions, and there could be 10 different subjects. That's what I know,
So
right?
we are capable, yeah.
I know.
Multitasking,
Multi-
yeah.
Exactly.
No, you are
Thinking
multitasking.
10 things, yeah. That's
Yeah,
true, it's
multitasking.
true.
Multitasking, and how many married here? How many? Ah, good, very good. Okay, you can also raise your hands. You're close to. You're close to. Come on, be positive. We'll bring the Germany here. Don't worry. Good. Is there nothing else here? And so, what's your program here? No food, no stuff, no samosas.
No.
Get the women fat.
Yeah, slowly and gradually. But
It-
for today, the agenda is really just to introduce this, talk about what we plan to do.
So, how did this come about?
Yeah, so see, it all started with a conversation around being a great place to work.
Hmm.
Okay, so when we talk about great place to work, companies which really are great are the ones who, have made sure that diversity flourishes.
Hmm.
Okay, so as an organization, so of course 3% is not a great number to go by. So therefore, and we want to make it 30, so we want to add that 0 into 3. But so then that's how it all started, this conversation around, okay, so how do we make this journey to become a great place to work? Then we started with a conversation on being an equal opportunity employer. So we've already started working around that. So, we are doing, when we say equal opportunity, and I was talking to this team also, so we are talking about being equal irrespective of your race, gender, sexual orientation, anything, right? So we want to be an organization like that, where people feel included, respected, and therefore there are lots of things that we plan to do as we take this journey. So some things which we've started, so we've already started looking at hiring of
Persons with disability.
Okay.
Yeah.
For our custodian roles and all the other back office roles as well. We
Okay.
are also collaborating with NGOs for transgender hiring.
That's I've been hearing for a long time.
Yeah, we're not able to
Difficult to
get,
get?
yeah, we're not able to get people, to be honest. So because one at the cost that we pay. So there are some. So we are trying to see what we can do about that. And another,
Have they all done their PMS updation? Should check that
I
too.
think most of us would have, because our numbers are
HR
quite
don't
healthy.
nod your head, you would. All of you entered your PMS portal.
It's a mandatory thing.
It's
Yeah,
but-
mandatory. Yeah.
But the men don't believe it, so.
But
I've been having harassing time to get my people to follow.
yeah, so on PMS, out of what 1,100 odd, 1,000 have done it.
Oh,
Okay, so we've been able to push that. Okay, so
right, this is not Yahweh. PMS is
Nay,
important.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because
Nay, I'm just saying.
I want them heard. The problem is the
Yeah.
women don't get heard. And such a minority population here in the system, if you don't get heard, obviously they will also feel disillusioned, right? And there's no point in talking to these people, they don't do anything about it, those kind of things. PMS actually makes it completely transparent. And that's why as soon as she said that last time, I said, yeah, fantastic, because then it makes our life easier. Because whatever we want to say also we can put it in the system, right?
Yeah.
And it makes a lot of sense. So that's why I asked if women leads the PMS portal, I think the men will follow, right?
Correct.
Right. So, anything else, women? And so this program is going to have some presentation slides. This is to convince them or just to take them along?
So we are connecting through two mediums. So one, we have a WhatsApp. We have two WhatsApp groups where we have more than 400 people in that.
Oh my.
Okay, so Satya has been able
And did
to
you tell
get-
them the rules of that organization, the WhatsApp group? No good morning.
Yes. So this is a platform. We are going to talk about that.
No
okay?
good morning, no forwards, right? No joke about men.
We can't promise that, but
I need to support men too, right? So I can feel it because how much ever forward we do about women, we know. So you could also have equal tons of it. Yeah. So that's a WhatsApp group, and then
and we have a distribution list which is email IDs of all women. So right now we'll be connecting through these two platforms.
no bouncing from the email IDs. Is it personal email ID?
No, no.
Office?
Official. So there are some of us who don't have email IDs across the organization. So for them we have a WhatsApp group.
Okay.
So we have two groups because 250 is a limit for each group. So then we had to create two groups, but we'll make sure that the same information gets churned in both the groups so that
Isn't it Telegram better? Telegram can accommodate more number of women.
Oh,
no,
okay. Is
more
it? It's
number
an
of
app.
members.
I didn't
Just
even
check.
know that.
But we didn't, since we're just starting off, we didn't want them to not all of them are on Telegram.
Okay.
Ah.
So we'll gradually move to that also.
I think Telegram has got more capacity in terms of number of people. That's what I
Yeah, that's a good suggestion also. So maybe later, once we have everyone active.
So who's
and-
the admin? Can I become a member too? I can hear your conversation. No,
So,
good.
yeah.
Good. I thank you very much again, Manisha. Thank you very much. So this makes my life simpler. So I put my tick in the box. I've addressed the women. Is that what it is? No.
Thank you so much.
No, I appreciate it for calling me. And that's why Sheen laughed at me saying, of all people, did they select you to come and speak?
Please, I always tell him
I'm
you're the
supposed
best
to be most
ambassador.
notorious. I don't know. So he was laughing at me saying, of all people, they selected you. Oh man, I don't know.
Thanks so
Maybe.
much.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Manisha. Thank you, everybody. Do well. God bless all of you. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Please.
Thank you
Stay
so much.
blessed. Thank you. And get back to work soon. See you. Bye. How did you escape that meeting? How did you escape boss? Bye bye.
So we were just on this, right? So how did this committee get formed? So this is where we've started, but really we want that the committee be a committee which has people from every zone, every location, okay? So, but before, when we start, we needed to have people who are sitting close by, and that's why this group, you see this group is mainly based in Mumbai. We just have, we have Mumtaz, who's our regional manager in Karnataka, who is also a part of the group. But apart from that, everyone is Mumbai based. This should and this will change, okay? So, but to start with, we needed to start somewhere. So a lot of us will move out, a lot of us will move in, but this is the group for now. And it was important to just share this because in case, you know, some of us don't want to talk about a suggestion on the WhatsApp group, you know, till we know each other, and all of us come with different thoughts, right? But at least you know the people whom you can go and talk with, okay? So that's why we thought we should flash this, and we'll share this PPT. So all of us will have this with us, okay? So now over to you, Satya. Maybe we didn't introduce, so sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I know lot of us in other locations may not even know who I am, and you must be wondering who's talking. Okay, so I'm Manisha. I lead HR for the cash business, and I also look at compensation and benefits and learning. Okay, so these are what I manage for the organization, and the cash business HR is something which I look at. Yeah, I'm based in Mumbai in the SMPC office. Okay, so now over to you, Satya. Any questions there are on the YouTube link?
Yeah, that's what
one
we're
question.
asking.
There is, okay. So maybe we
So
take
we'll do
that
one
in the
thing.
end.
We'll take questions towards the end. Thank you so much, Manisha. I mean, you've already taken us all through the goals, the vision and mission of our women's network, Prerna. But I know many of you initially when...
It's not working.
No, it's
It
working.
is
There's
working,
a
is it?
platform with the
Hello.
recorded.
Manda's speech we heard is coming through. Cheek.
Again.
Better now? I think it's on mute. Okay. Okay, so Manisha has already taken you all through what is the vision, mission and goals of Prerna. But many of you, when we started the WhatsApp group, all of you had this basic question, what are we going to do? How are we going to achieve these goals? How are we going to move towards our vision? So, in a nutshell, our overall objective of Prerna is to learn and grow together and support each other in the process. So for this, for all of us to, better understand how we're going to achieve this, and, for all of us to, have a structure, we want to put a structure around this basically, so that, it does not stop here as just a one-time meet. So the first thing that we would want to do is, you've already seen that we have a core committee. We are over 6 to 7 members who had this idea and this we wanted to pull it off. But apart from this, we want this to percolate down, to drill down to all of you, all the women in the branches and at a regional and a zonal level also. So after this meeting, in some time, probably by the end of this month, we are looking to, put a zonal structure to our women's network, Prerna. We want to have zonal chapters in each zone. So we will identify zonal leads. As you can see, that is also number one point on our agenda here. Creation of zonal women's circle and finalization of zonal women leads for meeting every quarter. So what we would want to do is, at a zonal level, we'll identify some representatives who are, enthusiastic and who will be able to run our initiatives at the regional and branch level also. So we will come up with this structure in a while. We would want these zonal meets to happen every quarter, basically. So when in those meets, that will be one forum for all the women to connect. So that time, the women can connect in that circle. We can discuss about what are the initiatives there, what best practices are happening, anything that can, help us support at the particular location level. So that is one thing that is on our agenda. The next thing is, we have also spoken about what sessions we'll have. When we are talking about, we are creating Prerna for learning and growing together, we wanted to, introduce certain, we wanted to bring in women leaders from other organizations, talk about how they have grown up. So one of the most important issues that has come through, so many years has been the glass ceiling. So slowly now, we can see that the composition of women directors on the board are increasing. In higher levels, there are many women who are coming up. So we would want to, we are working at, connecting with them and, bringing them, bringing them here to address this big group. So then we'll get to learn how, how they have grown within the organization. Because most of us, you can see many women employees drop out at different levels also. There's so many issues that come. There are many personal issues. There could be any issues. But these are certain issues that the women leaders would have grappled with also. So there are certain sessions that we will be working on where we'll get in women leaders from outside and address that. As you see, we'll be naming that initiative as leaders. So that is our Leaders Connect initiative that we are talking about. So here, whatever you see, we have this business learning sessions, we have certain sessions on financial management. So we'll add in more sessions as a part of that leaders group. In that leaders group can also be a part of our zonal women's circle meet. So that is something that we'll work on later. So let me take you all through the agenda that we have planned for the next 6 months. We are on the call or off, is it?
Yeah, I don't know what this is. Someone is disconnected.
Achha, are you able to hear me? Achha, okay.
Yeah, but at least for the streaming.
Streaming they can do, right? Fine. So this March we are planning to have.
From here,
Yeah?
we read from here instead of.
Achha, theek. So this month in March we are planning to have a session on, as you said, apart from creating a zonal structure, we'll have a session on financial grooming and financial management for all of you. We can probably do the same connect here and do a live streaming and everything. So we are planning for that. In April, we will do a business learning session. So where, we'll get to know about, we'll do something for, CMS, where we'll get to learn about what are the business lines in CMS. So what we do as a part of cash, ATM, cards and everything. We'll have some of the senior leaders, address us during that session. So we'll have one business learning session. We'll have such session planned every quarter. So this is the session 1 that I was talking about. We will have another session in August also, in the second quarter. So we can have this quarterly, so that we can understand what are the latest business trends. Not just business trends, even what are the career trends, how you can grow and chalk out a development plan and so on and so forth. All of that we can talk about in the business learning session. In April, again, after we finalize our zonal structure, in April we can have our first zonal women's circle meet. Let's plan to, kick that off also. And then, we can have them meet every quarter after that. In May, as you know, we have Mother's Day. So there are quite a lot of new moms here, and many of us have children, and we know how difficult it is to balance our personal and work life together. So we thought we'll set up a buddy network within us for all the women. So we will have someone to talk to, where you can get support from the other person and understand how they are able to balance, how they can take care of, how they are able to take care of their children, and then balance work also, and anything of other such related issues. So we'll launch that in May, probably in the week of Mother's Day. We'll also have an activity around that, which I think will also be a part of our celebrations, or we'll just have an activity talking about celebrating mothers and so on. And in June, we'll have a learn from a colleague session. So this is where the importance of prerna comes in. So there's so many of us who are good at, in our particular domains, or good at so many other skills that we have. So we can take this time to identify that, one person who we can do this every month or every quarter. That one person, who can talk about how they were successful in their particular domain, in what are the skills they have, how did they develop that skill. So that is called a learn from a colleague session. So we can have that particular person come up, we can either do a video recording or whatever we can decide then. So we can, identify such, members from our own prerna who can come and, address us and talk about what they are good at and how you can, pick up from them. In July, We are planning to, since we are talking about learning and development and everything, we'll look at, by the time of July, we'll look at some projects within CMS that we can take up and work on to improve our skills. It could be in any line, it could be even in HR, any domain, finance, any domain that we are looking at. So we'll identify some such projects, and based on your interest, you can take up such projects and work. So we'll have mentors assigned also by then to monitor those projects. Okay, so in July we'll look at setting this off. So by the time we'll identify what our interest areas are. So we'll use these various forums I'll discuss about to connect. And then you can take up these projects, and you can work in groups of say 4 or 5. We'll have a mentor assigned for each group. It could be it could be women leaders like Manisha or Aprajita, or we can have anybody, any senior business like Manju has come in. So we can have any of them they come in and mentor that group. So you'll have an opportunity to interact with the senior leadership also, and also learn different lines of business, different functions, and develop your skills. So that is something that we are looking at. And July, as we said already, we'll have a quarterly women's zonal meet. We'll have a second zonal women's meet. We'll look at driving it down to that level then. Then our last month, August, as I've told you, we might probably add on certain activities. But for now, looking at a high level overview, we can have another business learning session based on the success of the first business learning session. Would you want to add on to this, Manisha?
No, just one I wanted to say is that, see, this is, so right now we have WhatsApp groups, we have a DL. So if there is something that comes to your mind as important, we can always share our thoughts, okay? So, so this is something which, this 6-7 members have come up with, okay? It's not what 450 people are giving a suggestion. So that's going to be different, right? So the whole idea is to make it, we should all run this like a democracy, for people, by people, of people. So for women, by women, of women, okay? So something like that, okay? So then if you have any other thoughts which are not there here, okay? The only thing what we have tried to put here is every month we should do at least one connect. And after some months, it will become something we'll get used to. We'll all feel a part of Prerna, right? So, so the whole idea was that at least for 6 months we should have a plan. And that's why we put this up. Because if you don't have a plan for 6 months, then you can't take it forward. But if you have any thoughts which are, not covered here, which maybe a large population feels is important, then we can try and replace some of these things, with those. So I just wanted to say that you can use a WhatsApp network to really put in these thoughts that, this could be something we do. And, so because WhatsApp, the best thing, it's a two-way communication, right? So we can always have conversations on WhatsApp. So yeah, that's all I wanted to add here.
So WhatsApp is one thing. So we'll discuss about the forums we'll use to connect also. But as Manisha said, this is not that is set in stone. There will be changes to it. We'll take feedback from you either on the WhatsApp group, or you can just walk up to any of us and you can come up with your suggestions and say what we can add on to this group. So this is just that, to give you an idea about how we will execute our mission. So that is the main reason why we came up with a 6-month plan. So let's talk about how we will connect. I know today we had this forum, we have this live streaming that's happening, we have a con call bridge that is set up. So this could be one way we can do that. But we would want to connect on a regular basis. We want to have it, how do we connect on a daily basis? So we have created a WhatsApp group. Now there are certain suggestions that has come on the WhatsApp group itself, and even Manju has said we can also explore using Telegram. So because I think there's a limit of 1,000 participants or so I've heard. So we can even move on to that, move on to Telegram and launch there. Apart from that, we have our group mail ID also. From Inclusion, I know all of you have received mails from all women users at cms.com. So we will use that to send out, communications about if we are having any sessions scheduled, or if whenever zonal meet is there, all of that we'll send out regular updates on that. So apart from that, we have our WhatsApp group where you can share your suggestions. We will also we'll also look at setting up a Telegram group where we can, share, you can give us suggestions about what all we can add on to our agenda, what we can do at the end of this month, and so on and so forth. So apart from that, we also have the group mail communication. So now that we've discussed about various forums, it is important to understand what Prerna is and what Prerna is not. As you know, Manisha, Manju, all of them have spoken about Prerna. It is a platform for learning and growing together, supporting each other. It is not a platform, it's not a grievance platform. It is not a platform where we, take in complaints or anything like that. We have various other, forums for that. This is a platform where we come together as a network and, connect to support with each other throughout our journey with CMS. So in that, we just put up a list of do's and don'ts to, set an etiquette for connect during these forums, say this meet, or whether in a WhatsApp group, or even when we are using the group mail ID. So the first thing that we would want from you is participate wholeheartedly in all the discussions. So it's really happy that I've seen a good turnout here, and a lot of people have joined in on the YouTube stream and even on the call. So even going forward in the future, we would want all of you to, wholeheartedly come participate in the sessions that are organized, any connect sessions, circles, meet that we do. We would want you to come participate and discuss, give your suggestions, give your opinions and views freely. Okay, so this is run, as Manisha said, this is by us, for us, and of women. So it's for us. This is a forum exclusively for all the CMS employees, women employees. So we would want you to, wholeheartedly come, openly discuss your opinions for improvement, for our development. So let us make best use of this forum that way. So another thing is, you could, when we are doing a WhatsApp group, say, or a Telegram group, if you are reading something, say, on LinkedIn, or a Facebook, or whatever forum you use, you come across certain articles, say best way, just an example, for work-life balance, or you're talking about some person who has, really grown up from a rank, some career development article, you feel, that is really very inspirational, then, please go ahead and share it on our Prerna WhatsApp group also. So other women can also, read, and they can also get an opportunity to pick up ideas from there, or any new innovation that has come up, any new business trend that you read about, that you feel, that our network will also benefit from that. Please go ahead and share that on our platform. Another thing is, if you find any new women employees, so we will monitor it on a regular basis, we'll have people assigned for that. But if you feel that, even in your locations or your regions, there are new women employees who are coming in, please, make sure that they understand about Prerna. Induct them into Prerna, talk to them about, before the formal induction. Don't wait for the formal induction to happen before we just add them onto the group. Just talk to them and say, this is what we are about. We are here to support you, and induct them into our group also. That you can do as a good member. Another thing is, make valuable contributions that I spoke to you about. You can, like you're sharing good articles, you can give good suggestions, and you can use your skills. If you say, you've been successful here, any success stories that you have, you want to put in, you can put that in as well. Anything that you feel will add value, please feel free and share with the larger network. And also ensure that if you or any of your friends are exiting CMS or resigning for any reason whatsoever, make sure that they leave the Prerna WhatsApp forums and the group also. Even if you are setting up a Telegram group, make sure that they leave the group. See, I know we are supportive for all the women, but this is something that started by CMS. We would want to be, targeted at our employees. We'll be doing such initiatives. So make sure that, you proactively ensure that either when any of us are leaving, let us exit the group and go. Or if you find that some members who have already exited are present in the group, just make sure that they exit from the group. Some of the don'ts that we have already discussed in length. So this is not a forum of complaints, as I told you. So please, don't use this forum to make your, regional local complaints. You can reach out to your local HR. You have other grievance forums for that. So this is not a forum for complaints or, sharing any other issues that you have at work. And don't share any irrelevant forwards say good morning messages, or some GIFs that you see. All please, there's a lot of tendency. What happens is that there are so many people here. Unnecessarily, we get into looking at all of that. So we don't, because some important messages if we post in the group, right? After that, if we have this birthday wishes or festival wishes and everything coming in, that important message gets lost in that flow of messages that comes in the group. So let's keep it only to share good articles and something that's of value to the group that we already spoke about. Please don't post good morning messages also. I mean, it was good that we started introducing each other on the group. That was a good thing. But let's not start saying even happy birthday or even birthday wishes. Let's not do that. We have our own WhatsApp groups for that. So let's keep it strictly to discuss only relevant topics that that you feel will be useful to all the members in Prerna. Okay, so let's just limit to that alone, and that does not mean that you should not post your suggestions or anything. Please feel free to post your opinions on certain initiatives or anything that's with Prerna, or you feel certain best practices are there. Please go ahead and post them. But we are talking about those GIF messages, those forwards, festival, good morning, good evening messages and all of that. Please refrain from posting them. So I think that is pretty much it. We're really very happy that we had a good turnout and a good number of women who have joined in on the call. Thank you so much, that's been really great. So now we'll take in questions. We can see that a few questions have come up on the YouTube comments column also. If you still have questions, please raise it on the call. We'll open the call for questions. If you're not able to do so, please post on the YouTube stream also. Yeah, so we've got a question. No.
So basically, she's asking that if she's facing some issues in office, who then she approach? Okay.
So some mental harassment and all of that she's put on, right?
Okay. Yeah, so thanks for the question. Okay, so and thanks Satya. I think very well put. Okay, so one of the things we should remember in the forum, nothing is silly. Okay, so don't need to, so this whole thing, the reason why I was telling you that we think many times before we ask a question, don't need to do that because we are all in the same boat. Okay, so and usually if I have a silly question, I can be rest assured that at least another 10% people will have the same question. Okay, so don't overthink before you post something. But like what Satya said, don't post something which is like a good morning message. I know we feel so nice to say these things. It's even I feel like, and I know, I mean, when we were creating this PPT, I realized that I should stop doing that to other groups which I am a part of. Okay, so every morning I give them a thought for the day and all of that, and I can understand what people think when I do something like that. Okay, so I will also refrain. It's going to be difficult, but let's not put these kind of messages because like what Satya said, if there's something important, it will get lost. Because if you have 100 messages, then if there are 5 good messages also, you usually come to the last message, right? You can't go through all 100. So those kind of etiquettes, but put in any thoughts that you have, and thank you for raising this question. So there's a question which has come on YouTube, and it says that if there is a say at workplace, if I am getting mentally harassed, what should I do? Okay, so thanks for that question. So there are forums which are there. So typically if it is, of course we all know, for a sexual harassment kind of a posh kind of a scenario, we have a team which is there. Sheetal Arya is the president of the posh committee, so one goes there. But if it is, say, something which is just it's about business conduct and how I am feeling in the organization, a good idea is to go to the HR person. Okay, so usually that is a person who is neutral. So really go to the HR person and speak to them. And of course, I mean, I am in HR, so you have some people like us but not as a Prerna committee member, but really as a HR person, you can reach out, okay, to us. Okay, but Prerna will not be a forum to be taking up this issue as Prerna. So the committee of Prerna will not do anything. Okay, but of course, as if you have that query, then please you can write to me also, manisha.balachandran@cms.com. So you really can just write to me in the HR capacity. Okay, so we can take it up like that. But any other questions, from the group which is here? Anything? Questions, comments? At least 2 questions or 2 comments we need to have from this. Yeah. Any thoughts? Does it make sense what we've discussed so far? Yeah.
So Manisha, if you can share, an example of situation where Prerna can be helpful. So I think, that will help them understand where we can support.
Yeah, so I'll just talk about my experience with a women's network. Okay, in my last organization also they had a women's network, and that was a time when we were looking at we had just got taken over by another big company, and it was already put in the papers that so many jobs are going to be lost, and HR was going to lose some 40% jobs. Okay, so okay, it was all very transparent. Okay, so nothing was hidden, there was no question or something like that, but it was a difficult time, and I think that time the forum really helped, because the way we are planning the zonal women's circle, there used to be these circles which used to meet, and we used to meet and we used to talk about how we are feeling. Then someone used to say that, I am already, I've crossed 50, now where will I get another job? Or somebody else used to talk about something else, I've been in this company for so much time, I don't even know how to work in another anything. All of us had so many things, and there were, in those forums, there were so many people who used to come up with okay, so that's really what the whole idea is, and use it for that, use it for learning, use it for saying, and when you were talking about, learn from someone, I always keep looking at this, there are so many people, even something as simple as Excel, and I keep saying that, even for our HR team, I keep saying that, a lot of us are not so great, and there are so many people who are so good, so these circles can really even think of things which you want to teach the other person. It can be even as simple as an Excel program or whatever it is. So use this as a forum to connect with each other personally. Also, something which we used to follow as a code was whatever is in the circle remains in the circle. Okay, so that was like a confidentiality agreement. Okay, so we were all very open with each other. So after we would have had this whole conversation so emotional, we would go out and no one would know. So no one would know that, I'm thinking about losing my job or anything like that, right? So those are all things that we have to keep in mind when we do this, but...
Can you share the mic?
Oh, sorry.
The battery change.
Okay.
Audio is going. That is
it's going, okay.
Just change the settings and...
Okay. Yeah, so we should use this forum for that, okay, for learning. And the best thing is, I know we didn't even have much time, but between Satya, Rohini, Lupna, we've been able to create a WhatsApp group of 400 people, and I think that's really tremendous that 400 of us are in touch with each other. Okay, so not easy, no, to get numbers. Okay, so use that group and let's make it a great forum where we really feel nice about being a prerna for each other, right? So that's what I think we can use this forum for. Yeah. So what we can actually do is when we send this presentation, let's write the email address of the committee members. So in case a person wants to talk just one-on-one, and because a lot of us like to communicate differently, right? So maybe we can even do that.
I'll include that before sending
The person you are speaking with has put your call on hold. Please stay on the line.
Maybe once she's come back, we can. Once she's come back, we can tell her.
I'll call Dr. and check.
Yeah, I just Hey, so any thoughts, anything else from this team here?
So it's like a very good platform. What I can suggest is it's like elevating ourselves from personal perspective also and professional as well, right? So a small suggestion, keep an ice-breaking session where all the ladies will be comfortable around each other, so that whatever sessions you are keeping ahead will be easy platform to go through and they'll be able to, participate into it 100%. So I guess that will be a major ice-breaking event if you could keep around. That will be a really, I guess then women will be able to make the utmost utilization of the platform that you're giving. And to be honest, it's a very, what I can say, a deserving platform for all the women out here, and I would say make the utilization of it to the best. Be it your personal aspects, your personal trust. In our professional life and our personal life, there are a lot of things that we keep it aside or it's gone into the back of our right? So including that, one more thing is popping up in my head is just ask for a, what is it that they want to learn in terms of, say, be it, say a person wants to be physically fit but is not having any guidance.
You are speaking with has put your call on hold.
A very, very good suggestion. I'm hoping everyone has heard it. But if you've not, the suggestion from Rutuja was to make sure that our platform, one of course looks at professional development of our team, but also personal development of our team. And second also, for us, an icebreaker is a very good idea. So when we do our zonal circle meet, we'll surely keep that in mind, that icebreaker just helps us open up a little more easily, right? So we'll do that for sure. Yeah, so I think we are almost on time, no? Okay, any other questions on YouTube, anything that has come up? Okay, so okay, so thanks so much, and thanks to everyone, okay, in this room, in the other rooms. It's unfortunate that we can't have all 450 of us in the same room. Maybe one day, okay. Okay, one day. So we have to, make this group so strong that, we are able to say that, no, we need to do this. Okay, so we'll move to that. Okay, we'll take, of course, in the beginning we, take baby steps, right? So we are going to do that and then slowly accelerate. Okay, so thank you so much. All of you are excellent, and, I really, I always have some good stories after, these conversations, after a real good one-to-one connect. I always have stories to take back home, and I'm so happy that we are setting off on this journey, and there are going to be so many great stories among all of us to share with each other. We have a great platform. Use the WhatsApp. And like what Rutuja was saying, really want to get suggestions. Okay, it means it is important. Okay, when people start giving suggestions, it means it is important to them, right? So let's make this important to all of us. Okay, so thank you so much. So we sign off, and this month we have our financial management session planned. Okay, so a lot of women, okay, so I know a lot of us are not really into it, okay, but rather I remember in my previous organization, when we asked in a group of people, men and women, how many of them invest in the stock exchange, and there were a lot of men and there was just, I think, one or two women. Okay, so we don't think of it that way. So but it is important, because we are also equal, right? So equal in our investment, equal in equal bread earners for the family, right? So we also need to know how to invest. Okay, so we will do that session on financial management. Please do attend, everyone, please do attend. And we'll try, and of course we'll talk to the person, and even try to make it as relevant as possible to all of us. Okay, so we'll see you soon in this month. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, thanks. So we'll just cut the call, and if there are any questions, let's connect on our WhatsApp group, and let's stay connected there, and also on our distribution list, if that's a better platform for you. Okay, so let's do that. Thank you so much. The call. So we're cutting the call. Yeah. We'll catch up for the next session on financial management. Yeah. Bye. Cut those? Because nobody was hanging up. So. Actually.